Jehovah Covenant Names. Jehovah, I am that I am, the self-existing one. Exodus chapter 3 verses 13 to 15. God reveals his eternal name to Moses at the burning bush. Moses said to God, "Suppose I go to the Israelites and say to them, 'The God of your fathers has sent me to you,' and they ask me, 'What is his name?' Then what shall I tell them?" God said to Moses, "I am who I am. This is what you are to say to the Israelites. Jehovah has sent me to you. This is my name forever, the name you shall call me from generation to generation. Jehovah Jireh, the Lord will provide." Genesis chapter 22 verses 11 to 14. God provides a ram at the very last moment as Abraham is about to sacrifice Isaac. But the angel of the Lord called out to him from heaven, "Abraham, Abraham." "Here I am," he replied. "Do not lay a hand on the boy. Do not do anything to him. Now I know that you fear God, because you have not withheld from me your son, your only son." Abraham looked up, and there in a thicket he saw a ram caught by its horns. He went over and took the ram and sacrificed it as a burnt offering instead of his son. So Abraham called that place Jehovah Jireh. Jehovah Rapha, the Lord who heals. Exodus chapter 15 verses 25 to 26. God promises to protect Israel from disease after the miracle at Marah. There the Lord issued a ruling and instruction for them and put them to the test. He said, "If you listen carefully to the Lord your God and do what is right in his eyes, if you pay attention to his commands and keep all his decrees, I will not bring on you any of the diseases I brought on the Egyptians, for I am Jehovah Rapha." Jehovah Nissi, the Lord my banner. Exodus chapter 17 verses 13 to 15. Moses builds an altar after Israel defeats the Amalekites in battle. So Joshua overcame the Amalekite army with the sword. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Write this on a scroll as something to be remembered, and make sure that Joshua hears it, because I will completely blot out the name of Amalek from under heaven." Moses built an altar and called it Jehovah Nissi. Jehovah Shalom, the Lord is peace. Judges chapter 6 verses 22 to 24. God reassures Gideon he will not die after seeing the angel of the Lord face to face. When Gideon realized that it was the angel of the Lord, he exclaimed, "Alas, sovereign Lord, I have seen the angel of the Lord face to face." But the Lord said to him, "Peace, do not be afraid. You are not going to die." So Gideon built an altar to the Lord there and called it Jehovah Shalom. Jehovah Rohi, the Lord my shepherd. Psalm 23 verses 1 to 4. David declares God as his shepherd who provides, restores, and protects. Jehovah Rohi, I lack nothing. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside quiet waters. He refreshes my soul. He guides me along the right paths for His name's sake. Even though I walk through the darkest valley, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. Jehovah Tzidkenu, the Lord our righteousness. Jeremiah chapter 23 verses 5 to 6. God promises a coming righteous king from David's line who will bring true justice. The days are coming, declares the Lord, when I will raise up for David a righteous branch, a king who will reign wisely and do what is just and right in the land. In his days, Judah will be saved, and Israel will live in safety. This is the name by which he will be called, Jehovah Tzidkenu, Jehovah Mekodeshkem, the Lord who sanctifies you. Exodus chapter 31 verses 12 to 13. God commands Sabbath observance as a holy sign of His covenant with Israel. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Say to the Israelites, you must observe my Sabbaths. This will be a sign between me and you for the generations to come, so you may know that I am Jehovah Mekodeshkem, Jehovah Sabaoth, the Lord of hosts." 1 Samuel chapter 17 verses 44 to 45. David confronts Goliath, declaring he comes in the name of God's armies. "Am I a dog that you come at me with sticks?" And the Philistine cursed David by his gods. "Come here," he said, "and I will give your flesh to the birds and the wild animals." David said to the Philistine, "You come against me with sword and spear and javelin, but I come against you in the name of Jehovah Sabaoth, the God of the armies of Israel, whom you have defied. Jehovah Shammah, the Lord is there." Ezekiel chapter 48 verse 35. The restored city of Jerusalem is renamed to declare God's eternal presence. The distance all around will be 18,000 cubits, and the name of the city from that time on will be Jehovah Shammah, Jehovah Ori, the Lord my light. Psalm 27 verses 1 to 3. David expresses fearless confidence because God is his light, salvation, and stronghold. Jehovah Ori and my salvation, whom shall I fear? The Lord is the stronghold of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? When the wicked advance against me to devour me, it is my enemies and my foes who will stumble and fall. Though an army besiege me, my heart will not fear. Though war break out against me, even then I will be confident. Jehovah Uzzi, the Lord my strength. Psalm 28 verses 6 to 7. David praises God for hearing his cry and being his source of strength. Praise be to the Lord, for he has heard my cry for mercy. Jehovah Uzzi and my shield. My heart trusts in him, and he helps me. My heart leaps for joy, and with my song I praise him. Jehovah Gmolah, the God of recompense. Jeremiah chapter 51 verses 6 to 7. God calls his people to flee Babylon before his fierce judgment falls upon it. Flee from Babylon. Run for your lives. Do not be destroyed because of her sins. It is time for Jehovah Gmolah. He will repay her what she deserves. Babylon was a gold cup in the Lord's hand. She made the whole earth drunk.